Welcome back. Our next guest has been volunteering her time through a couple of mayoral administrations and is still going strong. Lynn Coish, the key organizer for Operation Clean Sweep in New Bedford. For those who don't know, it's an organization that performs at least 6 neighborhood cleanups every year, one in each ward of New Bedford. This has been going on for a while now, and I did see her, I think it was the end of April, early May, at a site in the North End, and she has not lost her enthusiasm, I want to report. Lynn, good to have you here.
Well, thank you very much, Jim. Good morning.
Good morning. Give us a little history on Operation Clean Sweep. How did it start, and where did the idea come from? We're not reinventing the wheel with Operation Clean Sweep. I'm sure other communities have done similar kinds of things, but how did it all come about?
Well, it came about through looking for a way to just clean up litter in the city of New Bedford. I got involved with a program that was modeled after another program, the Adopt a Highway program. And then we had an Adopt a Shoreline program that I volunteered with through Buzzards Bay Coalition. And it was only a couple of months later that I said, I'm driving by litter on my way to work every single day, and I want to take this idea into the streets of New Bedford. And so went in 2006 to Mayor Lang's office and asked him if he was interested in my big idea to help keep New Bedford clean.
I think we all, if we were around in New Bedford at that time, Lang did have a meeting, bringing the city together to talk about big ideas. He wanted big ideas from people, and so you had the chance to offer this as well, and that was it was a terrific idea, and lo and behold, it has lasted through a couple of administrations here. Sometimes, I hate to say this, but sometimes some big ideas start off with a flourish and then peter away, never to be seen again. And that's happened in New Bedford sometimes, too. What's the staying power here? What is going on that keeps this going?
Well, we have a core team of volunteers on the Operation Clean Sweep team, all of which who are not from New Bedford. We have people from Dartmouth, Fairhaven, and New Bedford, and actually Mattapoisett on our team. The staying power, I think, is there's so much trash that there's always a need to, we always see it, this need to clean it up, and it's about community engagement. So bringing the community together for a common good. We all have that goal for education, raising awareness, and enforcing our litter ordinances here in New Bedford.
Now, here are some other things that Operation Clean Sweep does. Education-wise, you work with neighborhood organizations, I'm sure, but you also do some work in schools. And this past week at, I think, Roosevelt Middle,
yes,
there was some Operation Clean Sweep activities going on. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we're really excited to be in the schools and teach the kids about the importance of responsible disposal of their waste and recycling. But we had a student at Roosevelt Middle School who wanted to form her own cleanup at Hazelwood Park. Alexia from Roosevelt Middle School is part of the United Way Youth Venture Program. And so with her friends and with a couple of teachers, they went out to Hazelwood Park to do a cleanup. And we're really happy to have her become a leader in her school, and following her passion about litter and helping to clean it up where she lives and plays.
How many students were involved? Do you any idea?
So I don't have those numbers yet. I'm waiting for a report back.
All right. Well, that's great. So what other work do you do in schools? Is there like an ongoing schedule of education programs?
It's kind of an ad hoc schedule of programs. We try to get into as many schools as we can in the area of the cleanup. And we work with Marissa Perez-Dormitzer, the recycling coordinator, and her staff. And we have an education team on Operation Clean Sweep that are retired teachers.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. So how much trash have you picked up?
Well, since 2006, over 7,000 volunteers have donated over 22,000 hours to clean up over 79 tons of trash. Wow. At the Earth Day cleanup that I saw you at in April, we collected 1.27 tons of trash just that day in 3 hours.
And this is not just litter, folks, obviously, with that kind of poundage, but this is people cleaning up things that have been discarded, whether it's old tires or TVs or furniture. Those things are moved as well.
Yeah, so it's about doing a deep clean in that neighborhood and asking the neighbors to now maintain that neighborhood. It's an uphill battle.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about it because, as I mentioned, usually these things don't last for, a couple of years. This has lasted for 12 years. This year number 12, is that right?
This is our 12th season, yes.
How do you keep it together? How do you keep it going?
Well, it does take a fair amount of energy and time. And so that's why we have this team who works together we have a subcommittee of education. We have a subcommittee who takes care of the logistics. The volunteer, I'm pretty much the volunteer coordinator. We've had a lot of technology help through some in-kind donations from Spectrum Marketing. All of Operation Clean Sweep is volunteer. We have in-kind donations as well as T-shirt sponsors, and our hosts pay for the coffee and donuts. So we're just all volunteering our time, and everything that we have is donated.
And the next time folks cuss out city employees for one thing or another, I've seen many city employees work that day.
So, yes,
Volunteer.
It is definitely supported by the city of New Bedford. On the day of the cleanup, the city provides the dumpster. They supply a crew of 2 to pick up those bulky items and make sure that they get transported to the transfer station, because not everything can be commingled into that dumpster. So it's really important that we dispose of the waste that we're collecting there responsibly as well.
So you have this team of people, this group that provides the energy really to keep it going. That's again, for 12 years, I've been involved with nonprofits who we scratch our heads every year. How do we keep this going? Invariably what happens is you get new blood and you keep it going. That's what happens. That happening with your organization?
Yeah, we've definitely had people come and go. We do scratch our heads every year and ask how we're going to keep it going. And then we find some new energies. We've got some new energy injected into this year. As a matter of fact, we had a meeting with the mayor's office, and they talked about how they were going to continue and increase the enforcement of our litter ordinances, and how important that is that we put some teeth into those litter ordinances, because we don't just want to be cleaning up people's trash, right? Operation Clean Sweep doesn't want to do that. We're doing it as a service to New Bedford. And the value of the labor force that we have put together over the last 12 years is well over $600,000 worth of volunteer time that is donated to the city. And we've filled a niche. We've got this labor force that is cleaning up after other people, right? We're cleaning up other people's trash. But unless the city enforces those dumpster laws and all of the litter ordinances that we have, making sure that the businesses are responsible and the homeowners and the landlords are responsible for the waste that is generated in their house and keeping it contained, then we're just going to be doing this forever, and we really don't want to. We'd rather be talking about the beautification of the city in terms of how this neighborhood has improved because of the efforts of the city and Operation Clean Sweep.
And that's a key part, the enforcement. I know you and I have talked about that over the years, but enforcement is really the key to phasing out Operation Clean Sweep.
Yeah, we'd love to be out of business, but there's plenty of trash to go around. And, we really want there to be more peer pressure in terms of, not littering and taking care of your household waste. Because when you have one neighbor on the street who is just not following the ordinance, but everyone else is trying to, and they're keeping their little part of the world clean, everyone should be talking to their neighbor saying, hey, how can we get, our neighbor down the street to help us to keep our street clean? And if everyone kept up their little part of the world, we would be out of business.
You're listening to Townsquare Sunday. I'm Jim Phillips. My guest is Lynn Coish from Operation Clean Sweep here in New Bedford. There's a major cleanup, Lynn, coming up on May 20th. Why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah, that is a citywide cleanup. It's hosted by South Coast Health, so our headquarters is at St. Luke's Hospital. What we found over the years is that there isn't a lot. People really want to, if they're going to spend their time with Operation Clean Sweep, they want to make a difference, and they want to clean up trash. And so we've decided to make this a citywide cleanup so we could really hard target those areas that always seem to be a mess. The gateways and areas that we can do a cleanup at, but they get littered again pretty easily because of the blowing winds and the rains in New Bedford.
So when I talked to you on the Earth Day cleanup, you said you were targeting sites. So you have a number of sites now?
We have over 30 sites highlighted on our website that people can choose from. You can go to our website at operationcleansweep.net and sign up now and choose to be a team leader or join an existing team, and there are links you can go to select a location. And what we'll do is we'll meet at headquarters and give everyone a cleanup kit, the team captains, their information, and send them off to carpool to their location, stay in that one area. The city will come back around and clean up that location. They don't have to bring any bags back to headquarters, tie them in a knot, leave them on a corner, and come back for pizza. So the host provides the breakfast food. There'll be free chowder coupons. All volunteers will receive a brightly colored green T-shirt to keep them safe, and with all of our T-shirt sponsors on the back, they'll receive a reusable water bottle. That was important to us to get through a United Way mini grant, so that we're not contributing to the single-use plastics problem that is plaguing our entire planet. So really, we're looking for volunteers. Would love to have teams. If you don't want to join a team, that's fine. We've got lots of places to go that are nearby, and we have transportation by the Veterans Transition House for people who need to be transported out to their cleanup location and picked up later.
Okay, this is at the St. Luke's Hospital parking lot.
Yes.
Right off of
Page and Hawthorne Streets, yeah.
All right, there it is. And you can, again, sign up now, operationcleansweep.net, and you'll get all the information there. The cleanup kits will be available on Saturday morning, and away you go.
Yep, and we have three teams actually already registered. I'd like to just mention Johnson & Johnson Healthcare Systems. That's a team from Raynham that is cleaning up a section of New Bedford. And Ann Whiting Real Estate, she's from Dartmouth, and she's cleaning up a section of New Bedford. And then we have Groundworks, a nice local New Bedford community of people who will be cleaning up part of Purchase Street. So we have 3 teams so far, and we're looking for more.
So the city of New Bedford, they bought in under Mayor Lang, and they continue to buy in under Mayor Mitchell. I'm sure that what they do, what they provide, is almost priceless in terms of moving stuff around, the trucks, the dumpsters, and all that. It couldn't be done without that kind of buy-in, could it?
Oh, it definitely couldn't. I mean, they provide the dumpster. They also weigh it. That's how much we know we're collecting each week, each month. So without those 2 guys in that 1-ton truck going around the city collecting the bulky items and the shopping carts and all of the bags that the volunteers are filling up, we really couldn't do it. Those bags would be left there, because we can't. We can only ask so much of our volunteers, and they're willing to roll up their sleeves. The labor force that we provide, this niche that we filled is just amazing. It just shows the power of community.
I am amazed sometimes by the number of people that do turn out from neighborhoods. I often ask myself, why do people haul themselves out of bed on Saturday and take part in this? Have you surveyed formally or informally these volunteers? Why do they feel so strong?
I think a lot of us feel the same way about litter. We're just tired of seeing it. It's permeated every aspect of our panorama. You can't go to a single place in New Bedford and not have it in your visual. And for some people who grew up in the 60s and the 70s listening to Keep America's Beautiful, Give a Hoot, Don't Pollute, and The Crying Indian, that resonated. And so now we have the opportunity to actually bend down and pick up some trash and make a difference in our community. Okay,
Lynn, one more time on the May 20th cleanup. When, where, how does people get involved?
All right, so you can register at operationcleansweep.net. Pre-registration helps us with planning for the day. And it's not required, but it is very, very helpful and really, really easy. Or you can call 508-979-1493. That is the recycling office, and you can sign up that way. We're going to meet at St. Luke's Hospital parking lot on the corner of Page and Hawthorne Streets. People generally get there for about 8 a.m., ready to go. They can't wait to go. We have some safety notes we want to go over with people. The cleanup officially starts around 8:30, bags down at 11 or 11:30, depending on where you are. Keep your bags, tie them in a knot, leave them on the corner. Come on back because we got Domino's Pizza for everyone, because Domino's has been an outstanding and generous donor to Operation Clean Sweep all 12 seasons.
Yeah, not only for Clean Sweep, but a number of other
many
organizations as well. Tip of the cap to Nelson Hockert Lotz for his community spirit, clearly. All right, Lynn, thank you very much. You and your volunteers have done a great job. I'm continually amazed. Anything that goes 12 years, that's a long run. But congratulations, really, on the 12 years of hard work.
Thank you. And may I say to your listeners, please help spread the word. Talk about this with your families. Talk about this at your local diner, at your club meetings. Get involved. We also need volunteers at the headquarters, too. So it's not just about if you can't pick up trash, we can use you on the team. We can use you at headquarters. And remember, until next time, keep your little part of the world clean.
There it is. All right. Thank you very much, Lynn. And that's it for this week's edition of Townsquare Sunday. My thanks to digital production czar Jason Kent for his help in getting the program on the air. Also thanks to WBSM's computer whiz, Casey Sylvia, for her help in getting these segments on our website, WBSM.com. Thanks for listening. Have a great Sunday and a great week.